Welcome and hello. We in this video are going to be making a cutting board using the WOODSTARTER 6-inch benchtop joiner. In this cutting board, we'll be using both oak and black walnut to create some nice color difference. And I chose a cutting board for this video because I just got the WOODSTARTER 6-inch benchtop joiner, and it is a fantastic stress test to see how good of a joiner this really is. This is the 6-inch WOODSTARTER benchtop joiner. It does have a retractable blade guard. The joiner itself does have a 2-blade system, which makes changing it super easy. The blade guard also does extend up, so if you are joining faces, you can fit it right under that without putting your fingers towards the blade. The fence also is angleable, so it can angle to about 45 degrees. Mine is locked at 90. The back does have a dust collecting port, which is very useful and very effective once hooked up to a shop vac. It does have a safety stop mechanism and a lock that attaches to it. You can pull it out and then it won't turn on. You could throw it back in. Great for if you have kids or uninvited guests in your shop. The first step in making a cutting board is to make that edge of your raw lumber perfect so it can run along the edge of your table saw. You can see I adjusted the blade guard, ran it through twice just because I didn't like the first run, and then I did it the same with the oak about twice just to make sure that edge is perfect, and you can see here that it is an absolute perfect edge. So the next step is for us to take it on to the table saw and rip it into our boards. So I took that perfectly joined edge, ran it along the fence and ripped my oak, and then I'll swap it to my walnut. Once I cut all my pieces, then my most favorite step is to kind of align the boards up and kind of see what design I want to see. So you can see here, I'm trying to figure out, do I want 3 strips or 2? I ended up settling on 2. Next, we have to join the edges so that all of your edges are perfectly square so they fit together and there's going to be no gaps in your cutting board. This is the most crucial step in making a cutting board. You have to make this step great. And I have to say, the WOODSTARTER benchtop joiner is absolutely amazing for this. It is small enough that I can put it on the shelf when I'm not using it, but it makes these edges absolutely perfect. You can kind of see that these edges are crisp, clean, and perfect. And once I put them together, I noticed there is no imperfections. It is just perfect. Next, we gotta glue all of our boards together. And I have to say, again, this WOODSTARTER little joiner is amazing. You can see here, there are no gaps, there's no anything, there's no nicks, there's no imperfections. It is perfect of these alignments. So what I got to do is I'm going to put up all of my boards, all but the last one. We're going to glue the edges and then clamp it up and wait 24 hours, and then we'll get to sanding. Next up, we got to plane our board of any of those imperfections. I am using a hand planer. You can see I had it set a little bit too high. You should have it where it easily pulls off what I'm doing. I am not a well-versed in hand planing. I've always used my shop planer, but at home I don't have one. So I'm trying to make my own wood shop in my own house. And that's why I got the WOODSTARTER joiner, and maybe seeing how nice the joiner is, I might probably buy the WOODSTARTER planer as well. But all you got to do, keep planing this whole edge, make sure all those edges are clean, make sure the board heights are the same and there's no glue marks, and you're just going to keep going. So then I'm going to flip it over and then keep going. before I can get to planning, I do have to cut these boards down. So I'm going to do a cross cut on my table saw. Make sure you use your cross cut push block when you're doing these because it is kind of dangerous, but you will just cut through it. I'm just getting nice clean edges on mine so I have a nice square piece. So I did it on my one side and then I'll do it on my other. Now it's for my least favorite task, which is sanding, which is also the most important task. So because I didn't have a planer, I did multiple passes, really low grit. So I started with 40 grit and then I went on to 120, 240, and all the way up to 400. And it became out super smooth, super clean, and I'm really happy with it. I will say, when you are doing cutting boards or things without a clear coat, polyurethane, or anything like that, you should go really high on your grits because if you're just touching it with mineral oil or cutting board oil, mineral spirits, beeswax, anything like that, you're gonna feel all those imperfections. So you really want to make sure it's super smooth. Okay, so the last step is to seal our boards. So I am using the Howard Feed and Wax Beeswax Wood Polish Conditioner. This is made out of beeswax, which is really nice because it seals up those pores so that any food residue, oils, things like that that come off when you're using the cutting board won't seep into the pores of the wood. And you can see it comes out perfect. You do have to let it sit for about 20 minutes before you do the other side and you'll wipe off whatever is left. You got to make sure you hit everything and we are all good. And you can see it comes out absolutely perfect. This cutting board is absolutely gorgeous, and I have to give a huge thanks to WOODSTARTER. Their 6-inch benchtop joiner is absolutely perfect. I work in a wood shop, and this matches up to that quality. Perfect for your home small wood shops. So if you haven't picked one up, I highly suggest it. Great price, great quality of tool. And yeah, thanks for watching.